Hey guys, DarkMata from Bedlam Brothers here, and welcome to the Bizarro episode of School of Legends. Today I'm going to be looking at Bizarro. He can be purchased for 85 marks of legend from the Legends vendor. Before we take a look at his abilities, I want to mention that when you reach combat rating 80, you'll be able to enter a solo instance from your on duty tab called Test Subject Number 1. In this instance you'll play as Bizarro, and will be able to practice using his moves and abilities without being attached by other players. This is a really useful way to become familiar with this character, and I've often thought there should be some sort of single player training dojo where you can try out the Legends characters in private and maybe even preview characters that you're yet to unlock or purchase. Since we don't have anything like that yet, at least for Bizarro you have this solo instance. Bizarro's movement mode is flight. This is a basic movement mode, but the only thing to mention is that you can click in and out of supersonic flight. Bizarro's health is 5,897. This is roughly 15% lower than the base level of HP for characters I've tested so far. As with all characters, blocking counters your opponent's lunge attacks. Throughout the series you'll see each character's lunges, so take note and learn when to block. Bizarro's combat style is brawling. His lunge moves you closer to the target and counters any range attacks. As always, you should take a moment to look at Bizarro's combo list and get familiar with it to become more effective at hand-to-hand combat. As Bizarro uses the brawling style, there's two combos I'd like to point out. The first combo is called Hammer Fist. This is a 3-hit combo which can execute a lunge on the second and third hit and deals fairly decent damage. The next combo is called Haymaker. This is a 5-hit combo which can interrupt from the 4th and 5th strike for massive damage. These combos can be clipped at any point, cutting the animation short, allowing you to get started on your next attack. It's important to note that these combos can be blocked. Unlike the other Kryptonians, Bizarro doesn't have the iconic eye laser, instead is all brawling. With brawling, tapping range attack will block break a blocking opponent, but is still vulnerable to being lunged. You can also block break using his held range attack. This attack is also susceptible to being lunged. It is important to vary between melee and range attacks in order to trick your opponent and make sure you win the counter for your immunities. Moving on to Bizarro's power moves starting from left to right. First is Overhead Smash, which deals a close range basic AoE damage and knockback effect to multiple targets. Next is Jump Smash. This deals basic close range AoE damage and knockdown effect to multiple targets. This move is usable while controlled. Next is called Annihilate. Bizarro smashes the ground, launching cubes around him, damaging anything they hit. The next is called Swoop Attack. This damages a single target and causes a knockback effect. The next move is called Freeze Vision. This causes damage whilst active and has a chance to root targets in the direction you're looking at. This also inflicts a movement debuff. This move is also vulnerable to being interrupted. And his last move is called Heat Breath. This causes damage whilst active and inflicts burn to cause damage over time, as well as knocking back enemies in the direction you're looking at. This move is vulnerable to interrupt. Overall, Bizarro is another one of the Kryptonian characters that comes up short in terms of abilities. In comparison to Superman and Power Gal, it is true that Bizarro does gain a knockdown on his heat breath power, and his first 3 moves are arguably a little bit better, but not nearly enough to warrant a huge health difference. Now remember, Superman has 5% less health than base at 6,552, whereas Bizarro has about 15% less health than base at 5,897. Which I feel is too big a reduction considering his very limited damage enhancements. In all, I wouldn't recommend taking Bizarro into competitive Legends matches on a regular basis due to all of the disadvantages he comes with. However, as he has his own solo instance, you are going to need to practice and get good in order to be successful in that instance. So you're going to need to work on clipping those powers with the 3-hit brawling combo in order to get out as much damage as possible. If you can get that down, you shouldn't struggle too much having success with Bizarro. So why not give him a go, and leave a comment to let me know how you got on. As always, check the video description Well, I'll keep you up to date with any changes that might happen to this character in future patches. Until next time, stay legendary.